Once again, nothing but roster mania in today's video. It has been spreading like wildfire. I mean, one person makes a decision and it causes a domino effect. And so we have been seeing more announcements today. This one probably more so than ever in the last couple of videos. But this might be one of the biggest roster mania videos we've done in a while. Like as far as like volume goes, there's so many people making changes here. And you'll see why at the end of the video. So let's start it off. Pricey comes out, right? This is the former team Burger. And he comes out to say he is looking for a team in year 5 ALGS. Don't forget, this is the roster that started off Virtus Pro before Zach Mazer and obviously those guys joined. They started off Virtus Pro, then they switched over to just Team Burger again. And they stayed together for a while, and I thought they had some pretty decent success, right? Split 1 was pretty good for them. Split 2, not so much. But then in the World Championship, they didn't do too bad. So I wasn't really, though, surprised to see a roster change, just considering how Apex is. You know, if you don't get top 3 or something at the World Championship, you're probably getting a roster change. So considering they weren't close to that conversation, not too surprised that Pricey will be making a roster change and looking for a new team in ALGS year 5. Dezignful, though, here's where things get crazy. 100 Thieves also making a roster change. This one is also not really too surprising. I think a lot of people saw that there were some conflicts that the 100 Thieves roster wasn't necessarily meshing as well as many had hoped. They were a fan favorited roster, but they just did not get the result that many people were hoping for. Dezignful will be parting ways, it seems, as he says he's looking for a new team and has the ice, just wants to win. But notice this, he is looking to IGL. We've actually seen this conflict come up most, I think, with the 100 Thieves roster. Who should have been IGLing that team? Should it have been Timmy? Should it have been Dezignful? A lot of people say that Design plays better when he is the IGL. And so maybe that's the, maybe that's the dynamic that they need to have. I don't know what's going to go on with Dezignful in the future and who we might team up with. Obviously, there's so many people out there on the market right now that we will continue to discuss in the next couple of minutes. Verhulst coming out with some more teasers. What in the world is going on with Verhulst and where might he be going? If you missed our video from yesterday, you'll know that we talked about Verhulst. We talked about Reps. We talked about Zapto. All 3 of those guys coming out to say that they were potentially looking for a new team besides Verhulst, who specifically said he was looking for a new team, not potentially. Well, now he's coming out, pressing all these buttons. Which one should I press? And everybody's kind of like, all right, it looks like Verhulst may be the guy with the options. Maybe he's the one that's getting bought out, or maybe he's the one that's getting all the offers. He's going to be the domino effect here, because if Verhulst is available on the market, or if Verhulst is entertaining offer ideas, then obviously everybody's going to be playing off of Verhulst, and that's exactly what you'll see from other pros in just a second. Now, Zach did say, look, play with Skittle and play with Dupe. A lot of people want this roster to reignite. There's been a couple of guys that are really from the ESA days that always kind of like stick together to some degree, and they always seem to vibe pretty well whenever they're not playing against or competing against each other. Duplex, ironically enough, comes out to say looking for a team in ALGS year 5, and Skittle Cakes also comes out to say looking for a team in ALGS year 5. So many options, though. Who can go with who? Then ironically enough, I mean, I don't even know what to think of this. Zainu had tweeted, and actually saw this tweet when it happened, saying you wouldn't believe it. What happened with Zainu? Is he baiting, or did they make a roster change too? Shopify Rebellion would not surprise me, considering, like I said, if you're not top 3, it seems like roster changes are just destined to happen. Now, someone had commented on the Apex competitive Reddit thread saying this feels excessive, but my God, what is going on? Is there going to be a Shopify Rebellion roster change as well? Some people are commenting, okay, is it back to 0? Is Zainu joining 0 and Hal? Is Waltzy gone? Who's going to go for who? So many people on the table right now, man. Like I said, so many people are announcing, and then when you got this whole TSM roster shakeup, there's just no telling what's going on. Now, we've also got some other announcements. Albert Lely from the Stallions came out and announced as well that he would be looking for a team in ALGS year 5, and that he can use the Stallion spot, but would ideally like to use a different one so that the fellas can have their spot. I do not want to IGL. Ideally, I just want to frag. Mac has obviously, I think, increased his stock this year. A lot of people were, definitely had their opinion that maybe he wouldn't, play as well or have as good a success as he's had in the past. Obviously, it's kind of hard to get back to those TSM days, but I think that he was on the outskirts for a while, and he's definitely worked his way back into main conversation. So I think his stock is up, and we'll see obviously where he lands, and hopefully there is some opportunity there in the future. Now, speaking of, glory old days and coming back, well, the one and only Tech himself is back, according to his recent Twitter post. Now, we saw him teasing it, and maybe he would decide to come back, but he did officially make the Twitter post with a video saying he is back. So Tech seemingly coming back, and he does also, I think, have a Pro League spot to use as well. So it'll be interesting to see how all of the Pro League spot stuff falls into play as well. But Zach comes out to say, I'm so proud of 5th place, but really wish that we won that game and got a chance to take it all. We started very slow. This is just 2 days ago, and I want to kind of connect this with the roster changes that have also taken place, or the announcements and the speculation. He said we had a terrible winners final and our group placement was 18th. Here's where things are a little different. We really struggled to put it together until the match point finals. Our draft picks were 14th, 15th, 18th, and 14th, and it didn't even make the event easy playing from our poor POIs. I'm so proud of the teammates, and I love the tools that they bring to the team. I'm most impressed with the resilience that we showed. Very few teams can struggle like that and mentally stay in it. We kept faith that we were one of the best teams out there, and we gave it our all till the last second. I am really excited going into year 5 with both of them. I hope we proved a lot of people wrong and continue to grow. I love this. I love teams staying together. I love teams not breaking up at every little opportunity that they have. And I got to give, a little bit of praise to another team, and that's Monsoon's Complexity. They also come out to say that at that current time, they had no intention of leaving Complexity. However, they were open to any kind of offer that was too good to pass up, right? So they're not saying, oh, screw this team, we're going to blow it up. They're just basically saying, look, if there's something that makes sense, we're open to it, but we really don't want to leave this team. We're not planning on leaving this team unless it's just something that's too good that we can't pass up. I like these teams staying together. I wish that was the idea and mindset behind a lot of these other rosters, but it is what it is. It's Apex at the end of the day. Zach basically sums up our roster mania perfectly here, saying there's so many players LFT right now. It's hard to keep up with, and I think all of these LFTs are riding on Verhulst's decision. Whatever he does is going to determine the fate in the future of a lot of these other pros. So, going to be interesting to watch this unfold over the next couple of days and weeks. Like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with what's going on inside the world of Apex Legends, esports news, and roster changes. And until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.